What up? It's your boy DJ Scratch, and you're checking out the Producers Podcast with my man Krazy Drayz from EFX.
Hey, yo, what's good, y'all? It's your man Krazy to the Drayz Diggity EFX. So, yo, back with another one, the Producers Podcast, where I only interview the biggest and the best producers from around the world. And today I got one with me, you know what I mean? We like hip hop family. This guy is hip hop royalty. This guy is a dual threat. This guy is not only a DJ, he's a producer. I think of him as a triple threat. To me, he's a musical producer. Strike that. He's a musical director. I've seen this guy on stages. If you've seen the D'Angelo verses, that was my man on there. I'm sure he put that show together. We're going to talk about that. If you've seen the Red and Meth verses, that was my man again back there. This brother has gone on tour with 50 Cent. He's done Tribe Called Quest, Jay-Z. Yo, I could go on and on. Without further ado, please welcome my brother, DJ Scratch, to the show.
What up?
Yo, what up, Scratch?
Yo,
chilling.
What's going on, man?
I had to big it up for you, man, because one, you know, you my big brother in this thing. Two, yo, this is my second podcast, and I know you a busy brother, so for you to, you know what I mean, take the time to say, Dre, I'll do it for you. I really appreciate that. So, Scratch, blessings, I owe you one. You heard?
Nah, you don't owe me, man. I appreciate you even wanting to interview me, so I appreciate that, man, and congratulations.
I appreciate it, man. So listen, Scratch. First of all, to me, you one of these DJs that, and I've seen a lot of DJs, but I'm going to get right to, let's cover the DJ part first. I want to go over your early life, but this is just a lighthearted thing. Scratch, I've never seen, and I hope I don't jinx you, but I've never seen one of your records jump, bro. Do you have super glue on the needle? What's your secret, man? What's good?
No, man. You know, I came up watching Jam Master Jay once I started going on tour, like on major tours and arenas. So from 19 years old, 1988, touring with Run DMC, I would watch Jam Master Jay on stage because I was opening up for Run DMC. So just watching how Jam Master Jay's on stage and on arenas, and you know these mosquito, and how the record doesn't jump with the bass bottoms on stage and all that, and I would just watch him. So so he taught me how to make sure how you adjust the turntables, and a lot of people don't pay attention to that. Like the actual feet of the turntables can be adjusted, and that's actually to take away some of the feedback and to make sure your records and needles are set a certain way so the records won't jump. So I learned that from Jam Master Jay.
You said the feet on the bottom of the turntables?
Yeah, the feet of the bottom of the turntables are adjustable. So those take away feedback, and the skating knob on the turntable arm, the height adjustment, all of that goes into how the needle grooves into the record. So I learned all of that from watching Jam Master Jay.
Scratch, you know what I thought? I thought putting the penny or the coin on top of the needle was what made it not jump. That
helps too. Depending on what kind of needles you have. But most importantly, like, man, from I would say from like 12 years old, I used to DJ with ankle weights on my wrist.
No way.
5 pound.
This guy.
And I got that idea from watching Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Putting
the karate movie. The karate movie.
The Kung Fu movie.
Okay.
And Master Killer, because when he had the metal weights around his wrists and he had the weights around his ankles after he practiced for months, and when he took them off, his hands was lighter, he can jump higher. And I just tried that concept and it actually worked. So, you know, my older brother turntables were, they were just terrible rack component system turntables. They weren't, So I couldn't scratch on them because they were too light. So I was like, let me try it. It doesn't hurt to try. So I put the ankle weights on my wrist and I would practice on his set for months. And the time that I took them off, the first time I took them off, I was able to scratch on the turntables without the needle jumping. So that was the real factor for my needles not jumping, just developing a light touch.
You're like a DJ ninja. You're like a DJ monk with that style, bro. And
I was like, yeah.
And I know you from my research, you started, so I know from Karate Flicks. So you was around what I seen, what 15 then when you picked up DJing?
No, I picked up DJing like 6. My older brothers were DJs. Yeah, my older brothers were DJs. And so just of course just doing what your older, we're gonna follow what our older brothers do.
Yeah.
And of course they wouldn't let me get on their turntable. So when they leave out the crib, I sneak and get on their set. And then one day they caught me, and of course I went upside my head, but they seen that every time they leave, I would get on them turntables. And one day, they actually caught me, but actually sat and watched. And was like, yo, he can really DJ. And I'm standing in the chair because I'm short.
Yeah.
So I'm standing in the chair. So yeah, so that's that, man.
So let's take it back though, Scratch. You from Brooklyn. What part?
Crown Heights, Albany Projects.
Okay, because I remember Albany Peas. So because I remember I used to be up in your crib in the Peas, going through tracks with you, you know what I mean? Like, yo, listening to tracks. But before we get to that, when did you, so your brothers had you down in the park and you was like, in the set and you was DJing and shit like that. When did you start transitioning and start to like DJ at like events on your own? Because I know by 88, you won, the DJ seminar, like you was big by 88.
Yeah, I became the number one DJ in the world by 1988. Like how you came to my project, you would see it's 9 buildings. It's 9 buildings, 14 stories, each building. And by 12, 13 years old, I was DJing birthday parties every weekend, every Friday and Saturday, all year round, because it's so like it's 9 buildings, 14 stories. It's like over 4,000 apartments. There's somebody's birthday every Saturday.
But you was going around flyers, or they just knew you?
No, like once I did a battle in my projects at I think I was like 12. Once I did a battle and everybody knew that I can DJ, everybody started hiring me to do their house parties. So I was booked every Saturday all year round because it was always somebody's birthday. There's so many people that live in the projects. It's somebody's birthday every week.
Okay.
So those are my first gigs.
Okay.
And then I started, doing like little local clubs when I got to like 15. I still wasn't old enough to be in a club, but I was DJing in clubs about 15 years old.
Okay. And what year is this?
This is 88, 85.
Okay, 85. So you're doing you honing your skills. Your name is buzzing in BK and other boroughs. Yeah. So now, how do you meet Jam Master Jay?
I met Jam Master Jay. How did this story go exactly?
Because I want to lead into how you met EPMD, because I know that is directly connected.
Right. I asked to perform to DJ at a club one night, and DJ Cash Money and Marvelous were performing. Their record just came out, and they was on the same label as EPMD, which is crazy. But I wanted to battle Cash Money, so I came to the club with my records and my needles, and I asked the club promoter. I said, "Yo, can I battle Cash Money?" And it was like, "Nah, you can't battle him. But if you want to battle him, as great as he is, you got to be nice. So I want to see how you get down. So after he get off, I'm gonna let you get on." So I'm like, cool. So after he got off stage, they let me get on, and I bodied the spot. And when I walked off the stage, a man named Leo Cohen and Russell Simmons was at the bottom of the stairs waiting for me. So it was
the moment.
Yeah. So Leo gave me his card. He was like, "Hey, you want to go on tour, Run DMC?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" But I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, and at that point, I'm 18 years old. I done heard all types of dreams being sold to me by that point. You know what I mean? And it never happened. So I didn't really believe it. You know what I mean? I didn't know who Leo was. But Rush Management. When I saw Rush Management on the card, I'm like, yo,
Oh shit.
Rush Management. And at that time, everybody wanted to roll with Rush.
Yeah.
At that time, everybody was Rush Management at that time. So I'm like, damn. He's like, yo, come see me tomorrow. So I went, took the train, went to 298 Elizabeth Street, and he was in there.
Mm-hmm.
I see all the gold albums on the wall. I see Public Enemy, you know, all the artists that were managed by Rush at that time, Beastie Boys, Run DMC. So he was like, yo, so he assigned me to one of his employees on the Rush Management team, a dude named Patrick Moxley. So he was like, yo, man, you know, I'm gonna send you out on some dates. You know, the tour is not until October. So at that time, it was like it was May at that time. Tour wasn't until October. So he was like,
3
yo,
months. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he was like, yeah, I'm gonna send you out on some dates, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna make sure you got a passport. I'm like, no, so I'm gonna make sure you get a passport. But make a long story short, everything he said he was gonna do, he did. And I was the DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only DJ that was managed by Rush Management at that time. And then October, next thing you know, I'm overseas in London. And I met Jam Master, and I was commissioned to open for Run DMC on this tour.
Okay, got it. What tour is this?
So this is the Run's House tour.
Run's House. Okay.
Run House World Tour. So
big shit.
Yeah, so there was a cat in London named Derek B. He was like the Jay-Z of England at that time. And so it was like, yo, we're gonna put you with him, but you're gonna open, you know what I mean? So so the first my first day in London, I came back in the hotel, and that's when I first met Jam Master Jay in the lobby of the hotel. Because one of his friends, a dude that was with him, seen me come in the hotel, and I had my championship belt on my shoulder. So I heard somebody go, "Hey, yo, shorty." So I turned around and looked. He was like, "Yo, come here." So I'm like, "Who he talking to?" Like, this dude was like 5 feet tall. And he calling me shorty. So I'm like, he ain't talking to me. So I kept walking. So he was like, yo, you with the belt. Yo, come here. So I walked over there. He's like, yo, shorty, yo, that's your belt? I said, yo, who you calling shorty? So I see Jam Master Jay sitting there and a couple other guys. So they like, ooh.
Yeah.
He's like, he said, that's your belt? I said, yeah. He said, what weight class you? I said, nah, it's not a boxing belt. He said, but I do box. I said, this is my DJ championship belt.
Okay.
So Jam Master Jay was like, oh, you're Scratch.
Oh, because he had heard of you, blah, blah, blah.
Right. He knew Scratch was coming to open up for them, but he never met me. So that was the day I met him. And just from that point, you know, opening up for them, we became cool. He became a mentor. And when we got home off of that tour, so we toured all over Europe, Australia, Japan, New Zealand. And when we got home from that tour, a week later, he called me. He's like, yo, you want to go to EPMD show? And I'm bugging because like Jam Master Jay called me, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm just thinking, you know, we're on the road, so we got to be cool because we're on the road. But, you know, I'm still not believing none of this shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm fresh out the street, so I don't believe none of this rap shit. You know what I mean? So when he called me and was like, yo, you want to go to the show? I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the show. I ain't think he was going to come to my projects and get me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He pulled up to the projects.
It's something mean. It's something mean. The black Benz?
Brand new black 560. Four-door joint. Rear seats, reclined rear seats, all that. So he took me to the show in Jersey, and we noticed that their DJ wasn't there at the time. Caleb Boss, he wasn't there. So their bodyguard was on the stage with a reel-to-reel, and he was hitting start and stop after every song. I'm like,
talking about Al
Alvin Tony, rest in peace.
Okay.
So Alvin was hitting start and stop. Start and stop. I'm like, this shit is whack. So, you know, so me and Jay like, this shit is whack. Yo. So after the show, Jay took me on their bus, on the tour bus. So Jay was like, yo, man, that real shit is whack.
Yeah.
That look whack out there. He's like, yo, you should take my man out on the road. He just toured the whole world, me, and he the world champion. And they was like, nah. They said no.
Okay.
It was like, nah, man, we
good.
We good. And
okay.
And they didn't say no because, no because they didn't want me. They said no because they already went through 2 DJs on their first 2 singles.
Okay, and this is their first album. They're on their first album.
It's their first album.
Okay.
The album had only been out for like 60 days.
This is EPMD's first album, and the
Strictly
DJ
Business.
at the time was Strictly Business, and Caleb Boss was it. Why wasn't he at the show? Just whatever.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to tell his story.
Okay, so Caleb Boss was the one, and who was the previous DJ?
The first DJ was Diamond J. That was the first single. Your Customer, It's My Thing.
Okay.
After that single, he was gone.
He was gone. Okay.
The next single was You Got to Chill. That's when they got Caleb Boss.
Caleb Boss.
After that single, he was gone. And when the single Strictly Business, the third single, that's when I came in.
You was early.
Yeah.
So how'd you? I'm listening.
So Paris said no. He was like, nah, man, we don't want no more DJs, man. We've been going through a lot of shit with DJs and shit. So Jay was like, look, man. He said, nah, I did it. He said, I get it, but y'all look whack out there, man. My dude, he's a show in himself. Like he do a whole show by himself. So he said, look, do me a favor, take him on the road for a week, and if you don't like him, send him home. So they couldn't say no to Jay because Jam Master Jay let EPMD stay on their tour bus when they didn't have a bus a couple of months before that. So they couldn't say no to Jay. So they agreed, and it was like, yo, meet us next Tuesday at LaGuardia. And back then, you can just go all the way to the gate with no ticket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they said, meet us at the ticket counter. And I met them there. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers don't.
I'm going to LA and find them.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I packed my bags, went to LaGuardia that day. They were there. And I got on a plane. So we the first show was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Okay.
So they was just like, yo, so we in the dressing room. So they like, yo, so what you gonna do that's so special that Jay's talking about? Like they was being real assholes, like, yo, so what you gonna do that's so special? Because and at that time I didn't really care, but and they already said to Jay that they already went through some shit with 2 DJs already, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So they wasn't feeling no DJ shit at all. You know what I mean?
But they knew you were nice though by this time because you in 98, I mean 88, you won shit. You the man.
Yeah, but they didn't know.
Okay.
They didn't know.
Okay.
They didn't know.
You don't even have the song. You got the song set. You got the song list backstage. You know what songs go where.
Nah. They gave me the They gave me the song list, but Alvin was still using the real on the stage.
Okay.
He still had the real. He was just on the side now.
Okay.
And I'm on the turntable. So all I was doing was scratching on top of the real when Alvin hit start and stop.
Okay.
So they was like, yo, so what you gonna do that's so special?
Okay.
So I said, yo, in the middle of the show, stop the tape. What I'm looking at the song list.
What'd he say? What this new guy say? Stop the what?
Yeah, you know how P is. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, after this song, stop the tape and just follow my lead and shit. It was like, what you gonna do? I was like, yo, I'm gonna cut shit up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna run around the turntables. I'm gonna stand on top. I'm gonna take my shirt off. I'm gonna strip while catching the beat and all that.
Yeah.
So they thought I was being sarcastic. Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
So they thought I was being sarcastic. Like, oh, word, you gonna cut with your dick? Word, all right, whatever. So we do the show. Middle of the show, Alvin stops the tape. So they didn't even give me no introduction. You know what I'm saying? They was just like, they were just still in on the front of the stage. And it was like, yeah, DJ Scratch.
And
check out
Scratch.
DJ Scratch.
They're big at this time. This is a theater, a stadium, a club. What's the type of
This
venue
is a
we're
theater.
talking?
This is a theater. This is a
Okay.
theater.
Okay.
The tour, it was the Public Enemy tour. So it was Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, Stetson Sonic, who else? Shit. Then every major artist that was out at that time was on that tour.
And it was a Def Jam thing too.
Yeah, Rush Management, all of that.
Big business.
Yeah, so they was like, yo, DJ Scratch, like that. But they never like gave me that look.
Yeah.
And they were still in front of the stage, they shaking the fans' hands in the front row. And next thing you know, they hearing the crowd screaming. They thinking they're screaming at them, but the crowd is looking past them.
No.
The crowd is
what were
looking
you
past
doing?
them. I was doing everything I said I was going to do.
Oh, you had started your routine.
Yeah, I started cutting Rock the Bell, some cuttings, elbows back under my legs and shit, spun around, took my shirt off, pulled my dick out. By the time I pulled my dick out, the girls was losing their mind.
Yeah.
So when they looked back and seeing everything I was doing on the turntable, they was like, yeah, that's our motherfucking DJ. Get him. So after that show, he was like, yo. He said, yo, you want to stay for the rest of the tour? I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I got nothing to do.
You know what I'm saying? So I called Jay. I said, yo, they want me to stay. He said, I told you. Come on, I told you. If they see you, they ain't never going to let you go.
Scratch.
So that was that.
Scratch. What? There's two type of DJs. There's DJs that just go and they play the music at the club or the event and they're good. And then there's DJs like yourself that do tricks. And, where did you pick that up from? I
didn't pick it up from anywhere. All the tricks that I did, I came up with. You know what I'm saying?
No, not your particular tricks. What other DJs, when you were coming up, did you? Because Jay, I don't believe he's a trick kind of guy.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't a trick DJ.
So what inspired you to cut with your elbow, your dick, all this crate, take your shirt off? If nobody's seen DJ Scratch, he's a show unto himself. You got to see him.
Just having a vivid imagination. Like, you got to remember, there was no YouTube. There were no DJ schools and anything like that back then. So I didn't have anything to go on to be like, damn, I want to do that. I'm going to try that. I would hear tapes of Grandmaster Flash, but I wouldn't see him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I just wanted, so like the cats in my hood, the older cats in my hood, they cut shit up. Somebody might put their arm behind their back, something like that. But I was like, I just wanted to take anything like that to a level that was never done before. And just having a vivid imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm glad that there was no YouTube or anything where I can watch and study another DJ, because then I would sound like him or sound like her. You know what I mean? But yeah, just my routines is just me in the house and just having an open mind. Like when I came up with the Friday the 13th routine, it's just me having.
Now, if nobody's seen DJ Scratch, he's famously known for his Friday the 13th, I'm going to play Jason, and then he puts his mask on. He even had a Dookie medallion, and I've witnessed it live many times on tour, on shows, just listening to records, using your imagination, Scratch, because that's one of your famous routines.
Yeah, just having just sitting in the house. I got as soon as I got my hands on the record, because I got the promo before it came out. So
okay,
because at that time I already knew Kane.
Okay.
So I got the record. I'm in the crib cutting it up, and when it got to that part, I'm like,
no brainer.
No brain. I'm like, wait till motherfuckers see this when I come outside in the park. You know what I mean? And the first time I did it at a battle, like, people lost their mind, and then by the time I got on stages and was able to do it, it just stuck.
Insane.
It stuck in people's minds, because no matter where you are, no matter what genre of music you're performing in, everybody knows who Jason Voorhees is. So when I do that routine, So when I do that routine, I can be honest, because I do, I do a rock set, and then I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like, everybody knows who Jason is. So that routine stuck. Like it just stuck forever.
Scratch, before I forget, why, and I know you do a lot of parties and stuff. Do you do, or why don't you do those big like EDM type festivals with you know that you do, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on those type of festivals. Now, let
Yeah.
me just pivot off of that. So sticking with EPMD. So you're cutting shit up now. You're tearing down the tours. It comes to their second album. How do you, or do they say, yo, Scratch, can you get on this record and cut? How does that transition?
Well, when that first tour ended, when we was on like the last day of the tour, going back to New York on the tour bus, Parrish was like, yo, man, we about to start our new album. Do you want to get down? So I was like, yeah. So he was like, all right, yo, I'm you know, me and E gonna go away and gonna go away and write. And when we get back, you know, I'm gonna call you and, you know, come through and lay some scratches on some of the joints. So I'm like, cool. So that's how that happened. And they went away because they used to go away to, I think like in Bear Mountain or something like that.
Yeah, been there with them.
And get a cottage and write the album.
Yeah.
So when they came back, Parrish gave me the cassette tape. The first thing he gave me was the tape with the song "So What You Saying,"
which is,
he gave me the tape.
One of your famous cuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So he was like, "Yo, I think of some scratches for this. I still have the actual cassette tape.
You know, I was gonna ask you. You know, I was gonna ask you because
with the original version of "So What You Saying," like it's completely sonically different from what the world knows now. But he gave me the cassette. I still have it.
And then you took the cassette and you're just going through records in your head, figuring out what to cut, how to cut it.
Yeah, like because I've scratched on records before that, but you know, never at this level of you know, of an artist. So so I was like, yo, I said I just want to do something different, and that's how I always was with DJing. You know what I mean? Like I want to do something different from what everybody else is doing. I never wanted to do what everybody else is doing, and that's how you stand out. You know what I mean? From DJ routines, tricks, all of that to scratching. So, you know, at that time, everybody was transforming because the Live at Union Square Jazzy Jeff joint that came out. So every DJ was trying to transform. I'm like, that shit is easy.
Okay.
I want to just do something different.
Okay.
And DJs at that time were trying to transform. That was a new thing DJs were doing on records.
Okay.
At that time, after they heard Jazzy Jeff.
Okay.
And I'm like, I want to do something different. I don't want to do that. I want to do something and create a different pattern, create something on my own. So I was just in the house and the record that I scratched, that was my second choice. Like the first thing I think it was something from James Brown. And it didn't go right with the groove of the record.
Okay.
So when I pulled up the Public Enemy joint, I said, I don't want to scratch and stick out like a sore thumb on the record. I want to scratch where it's almost like it's a part of the sample. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's stay in the groove. I didn't want to go against the groove.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like on some supersonic speed scratching to show the whole world I can scratch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be musical and be groovy like the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's how I approached it. And just on the technical side, just on some DJ shit, I wanted to scratch in reverse.
What?
So when I started, so the scratch I did is completely in reverse.
Wait. Scratch. So what you saying? The cuts are in reverse?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody go pull that up right now. Go check that out. So you put the cuts and then the engineer reverse the cuts?
No.
How does this work?
I scratched my pattern in reverse. So instead of going jigga, I wanted to do it in reverse, like instead of scratching forward, I was scratching backwards.
Okay, so you scratching backwards and it's not transforming. So what was your style called? Did you have a name for that style?
We didn't name anything back then.
Did other DJs try and copy that? So what you're saying, Flo? Did you hear that from a lot of DJs after that?
They tried, but they couldn't do it because it was so abstract. You know what I'm saying? It was like jazz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't a straight structure like a transformer is like a it was patterns and different grooves going forward and going in reverse, going forward and going reverse. So then I throw a little transforming and then a little shiver, and then the transform and the shiver at the same time, and then go on reverse chirps. So it was just a different pattern that nobody ever did before. So that's why like all of the DJs was bugging out, like, yo, how did they do that? Because nobody scratched on a record like that at that time.
Okay, so you cut on a couple of records on the second album, like the Big Payback and other joints, right? You're in with Eric and Parrish and them. And is it by the third album where you start now? Because I know you start producing, you start segueing and transition into producing. And I know Eric was doing the majority of the production for EPMD. So
no, that's not true. Actually,
no?
Parrish was doing the majority of production.
Is that right?
Everybody, and shout out to Eric Sherman, but everybody thinks he was doing the majority of the production because he had such a major producer career after EPMD broke up.
Whoa.
But most of EPMD's production, 90% of it was Parrish.
Parrish, you coming on the show. What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, so the first joint you produced, is it? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The first record I produced on that album.
Yes.
I produced Who's Booty on the second album.
How did you just had your beats? When did you, so you're DJing, when did you, before you even bring a beat to them, because you had to feel confident in the joint, when did you silently start transitioning and making beats now?
Well, as a DJ back then, even like way before EPMD, the first record I ever produced was in 1983. And back then, the DJ was responsible for the music.
Who was 83? Talk to me. 83, who was it?
83 is a group called the Body Rockin' 3 in Brooklyn from my projects. And we did a record called Scratch Machine, and I produced it.
Does the world know this record?
I don't know. They might. Okay,
because from what I saw, Scratch, real quick, I thought you jumped on the scene in like 1990. And No? I thought you jumped on the scene, and I could be wrong, but something called the New World Mafia, I Got Style. Is that you?
No.
Oh, okay. So I was like 1990. I'm like, I don't think this is Scratch, but I'm gonna ask him when I see him. Okay.
I produced a lot of local records before EPMD. But I didn't know what the term producer was at that time. It was just if you're the DJ, you're responsible for the music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
So if we go in the studio and we cut a record, I had to come up with the beat because I was the DJ. So I was a producer by default and didn't even know the term producer at that time. But I produced a few joints way before EPMD. I did joints with Paul C. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Great Paul C.
Yeah. You worked with Paul C. Scratch?
Yeah, me and Paul C. did a joint.
Yo, if people don't know who Paul C is, you got to go look him up. Legendary producer from the 80s, early 90s, worked with Rakim, Scratch. You can go down his list. He was tragically murdered before his time. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Paul C. So you worked with Paul C? Yeah,
Paul C.
No way.
I produced a lot of joints in the 80s, man. But I didn't even know the term producer because, and the same thing with EPMD. Like with EPMD, I felt the same way because EPMD didn't know that you're supposed to hire producers. So so they produced their own shit.
All in-house, right?
It was all in-house because they didn't know that you're supposed to hire a producer. They didn't figure that shit out until the fourth album.
Whoa.
To the fourth album. They didn't realize that artists hire producers and shit. But yeah, the first record I produced, was Who's Booty on
Who's
that
Booty?
album because it was like, yo, if you got beats, bring them through. So I would bring beats through. So the first so I bought the beat for Who's Booty. I bought a couple of other joints, and I bought the beat for the record that's now called New York Shit by Busta Rhymes.
Yeah,
I gave that beat to I gave that beat to EPMD in 1989.
1989. Whoa! And Busta's joint.
When we were working on Unfinished Business, I gave them that beat.
And Busta's joint came out what year?
2006.
Oof. Wow. You was digging, you was holding on to that joint. You knew it was gonna be the joint. It was gonna be hot.
It was a break it was a record that I would cut. Like all of the beats that I made back then were records that I would cut. They were breaks. You know what I mean? So like Who's Booty? That's James Brown. So that was just a 45 that I used to cut up. But I always loved that beat. I always wanted to hear somebody rap over it. So I finally got somebody to rap over it.
And what Busta joint was it?
Busta Rhymes?
Yeah, what Busta joint was it?
New York Shit.
New York Shit. Damn. Okay, so you do Who's Booty, and then how does that feel? How does that go? What's the vibe from that? You getting the bug by this time?
No, as far as producing?
Yeah.
Not really, because I didn't get the production credit. They didn't give me my credit.
Okay.
So I didn't see any proceeds from that.
Okay.
And I didn't get any accolades from it because nobody knew I produced it.
Okay.
So there wasn't really a real bug to dive in. And like I said, at that time I didn't know what a producer, what a producer was. It was just like, you're a DJ, you got beats. You know what I'm saying? So so I did that joint, and also, and the reason why I gave them the New York Shit beat, because it felt like Please Listen to My Demo was that same type of vibe. You know what I mean? So when they were recording Please Listen to My Demo, I'm like, damn, I got another beat that felt like that. So I came to the studio with that New York Shit beat. They didn't want to use it. But I also rapped on Please Listen to My Demo.
You did?
Yeah, because that song was about them, about their humble beginnings, how they got on.
For sure.
So I had a verse 2 on there, but I just didn't like my voice because my voice is so high pitched. I didn't like how my voice sounds. So I told them, don't put it on there.
And I'm sure you got that on a cassette somewhere.
I'm sure I got it somewhere, but that shit is on the reel to reel though.
So then you do Funky Piano.
Funky Piano became the next album, the
Crazy.
third album.
Which is
on that album I produced Funky Piano. I only got production credit for Funky Piano, but I produced Funky Piano, Rampage, For My People, and it's the joint Redman is on. I can't think.
It's right before Underground. I know the album sequence. It's right.
I can't think of the name of the damn song.
Like Brothers Better Back Up or some crazy shit like that. I know it starts with a B. Brothers on My Job. Ain't it Brothers on My Job?
Brothers on My Job.
Yeah. So you're producing. So you're producing, and you do the remix for Rampage or the original?
I did the remix for I'm Mad.
You did the remix for I'm Mad, and you cut on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you was killing it. But you as far as Rampage, you did the remix or the OG?
I did the OG.
You did the OG for Rampage?
Yes, sir.
You didn't. No, you didn't. Okay, tell me about Rampage. That beat is stupid. Tell me about Rampage, and I'll tell you about Rampage.
Same thing, just like the second album. Coming in the studio, getting ready, for the next album. So I'm always bringing beats to the studio. So Rampage was a different beat at first that Parrish did. So the beat would go boom boom, boom boom, and at that time only LL and Parrish was on the record. Eric didn't do his verse yet. So just in the studio, and I got a bunch of records. So I'm just playing shit that goes with the records in my headphones and shit. So when I pull out the 45 of Tramp and by Loyal Fusion, and I'm playing it with the beat. So I told our engineer at the time, Ivan Doc Rodriguez, turn the turntables on. Boom, with that beat. And everybody in the studio was like, oh shit, yo, that shit sound dope. So we looped it up, and then that became the version that everybody knows.
And who's there at the time? Is LL there? And like, who's saying
Nah,
those shits?
L, just me, Eric and Parrish.
And you just going through records and you found that.
Yeah.
With Rampage scratched, when we entered the rap contest down in Virginia, our demo, Clap Your Hands, is what we rhymed to, is the song we did at the talent show.
Yeah.
On the other side is Rampage, because it was just a tape that we had. You know what I mean? We just give the tape to the DJ. Yo, start the tape. Eric, Parrish, D Wade behind us. The dude puts it in the wrong side, scratch, and presses play. Doom, doom, doom. Like, yo.
Oh shit.
Eric and Parrish like, what is these two dudes doing here? We're like, yo, no, turn it around, take it out. But I guess it was meant to be. It could have been anybody's song, but for it to be EPMD, you dig what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like, yo, it was EPMD. Okay, so you doing Rampage. I mean, you got the bug by now, no? The production bug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you feeling you could do this, right?
Yeah. So now at that time, I know what a producer is. I know what a producer is, like other artists are asking for beats and all of that. Like, and that's when Eric started making beats at that time. Because
really?
Yeah, that's when Eric started making beats. So Eric had did Zakia Records. It's the label that Eric B. and Rakim was on.
Yep.
King's Son.
Okay.
They hired Eric to do a remix for a song called Snakes on that album. So they asked Eric, could he do it? So Eric brought me to the studio with him, and we did the remix for the joint. And people always ask me, what are my favorite scratches that I've ever done?
That was record.
It's not So What You Saying. It's not Rampage. It's this King Sun record, but it never came out.
What's it called?
The illest scratches I think I've ever done.
Yeah.
A song called Snakes. It's a remix that me
Do
and
you
Eric
have
did.
it? Do you have it?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Whoa. Why didn't it come out? Just politics?
Yeah, politics. Yeah, so at that time, people are finding out that EPMD produces their own music. So they would ask me, Eric, or Parrish to produce records. So like I remember one time Parrish got hired to produce a joint for MC Light. And then MC Light asked me to do a joint for as well. But me and P came in the studio together, and P did what's the joint? Slave to the Rhythm, I think. I think it's Slave to the Rhythm. So P wrote it too for it. He wrote it and produced the joint. Yeah.
So you getting your feet wet, but how come you never did anything with solo or for solo?
Okay, solo?
Yeah, unless I'm missing something. Just opportunity.
Yeah, like P had that shit on lock at that time. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
That was his project. First artist. Yeah, that was his first pet project. So
okay. Okay. So you're doing this EPMD thing. We come along in 1991. Boom. That's when I was referring to that I started running with you for a while. I'd come to Brooklyn all the time. I'd be up in your crib. You'd play me the stupidest beats. And that's when, if they don't know, Scratch did 2 joints for us. He produced 2 joints. He did Bad News, and Scratch did Coming Through, which we do in our we do that in our shows. If you don't know it, now you know it. Go check them out. Scratch did Coming Through and Bad News. And I got a terrible memory. Was that a good session?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so let's fast forward now, because I feel like 1 minute I'm in your crib going through beats with you. We in the studio. Next minute I look up, you're Mr. Busta Rhymes, main producer, Give me some more. I don't see Scratch no more. Scratch is so talk to us, Scratch. This is where I need to go with you. How do you meet Busta? How does this happen? We're on the same label at this time as well, Elektra and Busta.
Yeah. Well, I met Busta remember when I told you when I first started being managed by Rush Management.
Okay.
Leaders of the New School had I think a year later, 2 years later, became signed to Rush Management. A Tribe Called Quest was managed by Rush at that time. So that's how I met all the leaders of the New School, Tribe Called Quest. Yeah, it was all in-house, this management family. And at that time, well later on, Busta got voted out of his group.
Yes.
He got voted out of leaders of the New School.
Yes.
And just being in the hood, you know what I mean? Like I ran into Rampage downtown Brooklyn one day. He was like, yo, I need beats for my next album. So I'm like, I'm gonna come to the crib. So went to his crib with a cassette of beats and shit. And Busta was there. Busta was in the room. So I played the beat and I was always particular, like with beats. I don't like to play like 10, 15 beats for an artist. I just want to give them what I think they should have because I'm a DJ as well. So I know what's going to bang in the clubs or whatever. So I don't want to sit there and play you. The more beats you play, I just me personally, I just feel the more beats you play, the more cluttered the decision you give the artist. You know what I'm saying? So, and plus I like to do records together with the artist, like, make shit grow together. So I came in the studio with one. I came to Ramp's crib with one beat.
Oh my God!
So I played the beat, and Ramp didn't like the beat. That's fine. It's plenty of times, somebody didn't like a beat that I played for them. So Busta was like, "Yo, can I have that?" And I'm like, "What you gonna do with it?" Because I know he didn't have a deal anymore. You know what I mean? He was out of the group.
Okay.
So I'm like, "What you doing? You doing some?" Yeah. So I'm like, so what are you doing? You getting a solo deal? He said, well, technically I'm still signed to Elektra. And he said, I'm not in the group anymore, but I'm still signed. So he said his mom's is gonna sign a deal for him to do his solo album because he was still underage at that time. Okay. So he said, yeah, I'm about to start working on my album. So I'm like, I gave him the tape. I'm like, take it, you know what I mean? And then like maybe like a year later, we went in the studio and recorded the joint. That song was called "Do My Thing" on his first album. And that first album was The Coming. Yep. Yeah. So you're on Busta's debut album, The Coming, which is platinum and beyond by now. Yeah. So I did 2 songs, and I did this hidden song, which is the very first record he ever recorded as a solo artist. Which is there's a hidden song on the album. Like if sometimes you let songs play to the end and then something will come on that's not listed. Yeah. So there's an interlude of him rapping, but this is the very first song he ever recorded as an artist. Word. He was so scared because he always had his group. You know what I mean? He never recorded by himself. So the very first song he ever recorded is on that first album. So I did the intro, the outro beat. What song does that come after? So I can't remember. Maybe I think it's after the Jane joint. Okay. It's a party, I think. Okay. I can't remember exactly. Okay. Now I gotta listen to the whole album all the way through. Okay. Yeah. So then I just became, the in-house producer because Busta also makes beats. He's a producer as well. So he just liked my sound. And after that, we just became, I feel you have 2 sounds. Well, a lot of sounds, but like the sound, the sound you gave us is more forward. You know what I mean? It's dangerous. Once I heard you producing for Bus, I felt it was, and I was like, I think this is the genius of Scratch where you totally, to me, changed. It was you know what I mean? Like, it was like, oh shit, what is this? Where'd you come up with that sound from, Scratch? And if people don't know, I mean, give me some more. You did Party, what's it called? I just texted you. That's one of my favorite joints, like of all time for you. So where'd that bounce come from? Just from here, man. Just from here. And then I know Busta's Jamaican, so I just wanted to tap into that. You know what I mean? I wanted to tap in just into to this culture. That's what Do My Thing is. It's just heavy bass. Boom, boom, boom. Just slow head nod shit. And that just became the flip mode sound. That became the Busta Rhymes sound.
That's 1998. Right now, that's not 96. And what
96.
album is that? What album is that? The Coming? Oh, okay, because I'm at 98 when Give Me Some More.
Oh, well, Give Me Some More. Yeah, well, Give Me Some More is 98. Yeah. That's the third album. That's the third album.
Yo, scratch now. You was gone by then. By the third album, it was out of here, bro.
We were already selling millions of records by then. We done sold like 5 million records by then. We had already did the first album. Singles went platinum. Album double platinum. The second album double platinum. We had gold singles. So by the time we got to the third album, we was already out of here by that time. And the crazy shit with the Give Me Some More joint, I gave him the Give Me Some More beat while we were working on the first album. He didn't understand that bounce at that time because nobody was doing nothing like that. Yeah, nobody was doing no beats like that at that time. Nobody was going boom, 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 nobody was doing that at that time. So when we were working on the third album, he calls me, he goes, yo, man, you still got that beat? I'm like, which one? He's like, the shit that sound like that Timbaland shit. I'm like, you mean like my shit? It's like, I was doing that way before Timbaland arrived.
Doubling up.
He's like, yeah, that. He was like, yeah, that joint. I'm like, nah, I still got it. So I found the disc, pulled it up, brought it to the studio, tracked the beat. And when I tell you, he went in the other room.
Tell me.
He wrote and recorded the first 2 verses in 20 minutes.
What record are we talking?
Give Me Some More.
Whoa. And isn't Give Me Some More the lead single or one of the singles?
That was the first single.
Yeah, the first single off the third album. Whoa. So you getting singles out by now. And he did it in 20 minutes. 20
minutes. He wrote, because originally the song was only 2 verses.
Okay.
So when he came back in the room and played it, he was just wilding out. Like, because anytime me and Busta get excited and happy, we start fighting in the studio. Like, we literally fight. So we body slamming each other and shit. Boom, boom, boom. You know how Busta is and shit.
Got
so
one.
Getting slamming each other on the fucking floor.
Yeah.
Wilding, because of the record. So, but then I listened again. I'm like, yo, it's too short. You know what I'm saying? It got to be at least 3 minutes. You know what I mean? So he went back in the room for like another 30 minutes and knocked out the third verse, and boom, that was it. That was actually our first Grammy nomination record.
Because you are a 3-time Grammy native. Let me get it out. This man right here is a 3-time, not 1, not 2, but 3. I ain't never been. I don't even know.
5.
See what I'm talking about? This guy's dangerous. Look who I got on the Producers Podcast. Wow.
One Grammy win, 5 nominations. But
which one did you win for?
Her. Singer Her.
Wait. Her? Let's wait. Let's keep it at Busta. Okay. So you're doing all these joints. Continue.
Yeah, so Give Me Some More. Party Going On Over Here.
Love that record, bro.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite beats, personally.
That is my favorite. Is that hold on. Is that Ever Since Jimmy Crack Corn?
Yeah.
I think I just texted you. That should have been. Is that an only Busta Rhymes or is that a flip mode joint?
No, that's on the third album.
I love that
record. That's the second single on the third album. That record. I had the first 2 singles on that album. The first single was Give Me Some More. The next single was Party Going On Over Here.
Where are you guys recording at this time? Are you in the city? Where y'all?
Soundtrack Studios in Manhattan. That's where we did all the albums at.
What samples are those? Scratch? Are those like I know one.
Can't tell a sample.
I got you.
I can't tell a sample of Party Going On Over Here, but the sample for Give Me Some More is the movie Psycho.
Yeah.
And this the crazy shit. So
Psycho.
when the single went to radio.
Yeah.
And the video went to MTV. The remake for the original movie Psycho came out at the same time.
The stars lined
up.
Huh?
So people thought that song was for the Psycho movie, but it wasn't. It was just a coincidence that. So when people were going to watch the movie, they still had the original score in the remake of Psycho. So they hear that loop. So when you're in the movie, you hear that loop from the shower scene. You're about to stab her. You hear to give me some more loops. So everybody like, yo, that's the fucking Busta shit. So anybody you could tell. I could tell when somebody's in the movies watching Psycho because they call me because they hear that loop on that shower scene and shit. But yeah,
I think what you did for Bust Scratch was just solidify him because he came out with Woo-Ha, right? That was boom. And then he had Put Your Hands on Me, doom, doom, doom. You know, I was there. We were on the same label and all that. But then I think a lot of people are like, but can he do it again? You know what I'm saying? And then for you, I think when you came in and you just gave him a signature sound that we'd be like, even if Busta wasn't on the record, we'd be like, that's a Busta record. You know what I mean? Like, I think, I think you gave him direction. Like, you know, was that meant to be? Or, well, it was.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and that's why the reason why me and Busta did so much work, the bulk of our work is because he trusted me. It's hard to get an artist to blindly trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would it would be to the point where I would challenge Busta. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give him a beat, something that he never rapped on, a different type of style, and I go, yo, rap to the hi-hats.
Oh, you're that guy.
And he would, or you hear the drums, don't even pay attention to everything going around the beat. Rap to the drums. That's the same. That's what he did with Give Me Some More. I told him to rap to the drums.
And I'm a writer, so I know exactly because I'm like, he did write to the damn drums.
I'm like, don't pay attention to the string. I said, rap to the drums. When I gave him Party Going On Over Here, I handed him the beat. I said, yo, rap like this on the beat. He remembered the flow that I gave him, and boom, he went and put words to that flow. Like, so he completely trusted me, and he wouldn't back down when I would challenge him as well. You know, because I know Busta's like a gymnast, a lyrical gymnast. So he could do anything.
Yes.
So I would just push him, and he would just trust me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why we did so much work together. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, and it just became, my sound became his sound.
His sound. You are Busta Rhymes. Yeah, you are Busta Rhymes, bro. Yeah, there's no denying that. Like, Scratch is like Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis is Janet Jackson. You are like this for me in the world with Busta. You know what I mean? If they didn't know, and that's why I'm doing this, because a lot of people, they're like, who's doing Busta Rhymes' songs? This guy, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So, Scratch, are you in high demand at that time? Because I know, like, you work with Onyx and you're going crazy.
Out of control.
Is it?
Yeah, it was out of control.
Who calls you out of the blue that you think is like, oh shit?
Michael Jackson.
You lie. Look at my notes here. I don't see MJ, damn it. Mike calls you?
Jackson. Yeah, after I did, what record was it? After I did New York shit, I got a call from Michael Jackson.
All right, Scratch, hold up. Take us through this conversation, bro. Where are you? What are you doing? Hello, is this DJ Scratch? How does this go, bro?
My publicist at the time, she calls me, goes, yo. No, her and my manager called me. It was like, yo, Michael Jackson wants you to do some shit for him. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Is this April Fool's? Word.
Right. It was like, yo, nah, he loves New York shit.
This is crazy.
New York shit. Hat to the back on my New York shit. And I'm bugging out.
This is crazy.
I'm bugging out. So I'm like, shit, absolutely. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I used to just always think about when Teddy Riley worked with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the first time like Mike fucked with the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With Teddy Riley. So I'm like, damn. I know I'm not gonna do a Michael Jackson album, but just let me do one joint.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just one. And I'll tell you the end of the story before I tell you what happened. The end of the story is the whole project got shut down. So I didn't get a chance to work with Mike. But this is how it happened. And I don't want to say any names, but one of the producers that Michael Jackson worked with, right? I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah.
But he was working on that same album at that time. That producer's cousin. And Mike shit is like secret locked down. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna hear no leaked joints from Mike.
Nothing.
But he was working with this one producer, so he trusted him, with his shit. So this producer's cousin took three of those Michael Jackson songs, went to a label to get a production deal. And used those songs. Yeah, I'm working on Michael Jackson new album. He was like, these are three joints I just did for him. I'm working on Mike's new album right now. So he used that to try to, to go get a deal. And of course, he's shopping it. He's shopping it to Universal. The word gets back to Mike. Word eventually gets back to Mike. For Mike, to co-sign, like, yo, is he working on your album? We just heard three of your joints. So Mike flips the fuck out and shut the whole album down. The album never came out. Album never happened.
Did you
and that producer that he was working with, that producer songs, he never worked with him again.
Did you do the song scratch?
No, I didn't get the beat ready. I had the beat ready. Yeah, I had the beat ready.
Oh my God. What year are we talking here?
2003.
Oh my God. That's not cool, bro. And Mike passed in...
No, when did the New York shit come out? 2006, not 2003, 2006.
Oh man, you could have had a Mike plaque on your damn wall, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, let's R&B. How do you feel about it? Because I know you've worked with Monica. Am I correct?
No, not Monica. I worked with Angie Stone.
Angie Stone.
I worked with Angie Stone. Yeah, I love R&B, man. It's hard. It was so hard to get into R&B because you got to remember in the 80s, R&B didn't even fuck with hip hop. They were vocal about how they didn't fuck with us. And then once it got to the 90s, the sound started changing, and then R&B could not survive without having a rapper on your first.
I was there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There was a phase. Yep.
An R&B artist couldn't put out a record without a rapper.
Needed that 8-bar at the end, right there after the second hook.
At the top.
Or at the top. Correct.
They needed it at the top.
You already know it was at the top. Okay.
They needed it at the top.
Okay.
And then eventually R&B started. The R&B shit started dying sonically because now, at that point, there were no more R&B music. It was hip hop beats, and it was singing over hip hop beats.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the R&B element, the hip hop element completely took over the sound of R&B. It all changed. It was at one point, if you put the TV on mute and watch a video, you couldn't tell if they were rappers or singers because they both dressed the same.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't putting on suits no more. They weren't at the microphone. Everybody on motherfucker be in the video like this, and you couldn't tell if it was a rapper or a singer if you got the TV on mute.
Damn. Back to the MJ, was that one of the shadiest things you've ever been a part of, Scratch, in the industry with some shit that went down like that?
Nah, but nah, come on, man. It's the music industry. We done seen it all. We done seen all the shady
as
shit.
a producer,
you know what I mean?
like as a producer, has anyone ever like snatched one of your beats and claimed it to be your own, or took some sounds from you? Because
Nah, that's never happened because nobody want that type of problem.
That smoke. I feel you. I feel you.
Nah.
Right. I feel you. So listen. So you're doing Angie Stone, right? How many joints do you do with her?
Just one. I did
Just
with Guru. Rest in peace.
Okay, yeah. So I know you
With
worked with Guru.
man.
Yeah, that was on the Jazzmatazz.
Yeah, the Jazzmatazz joint. But yeah, so I was just saying that to get to that point. Like it's hard. It was so hard to get into R&B because then R&B got to a point where it wasn't R&B no more. It was hip hop. Motherfuckers is rapping over hip hop beats, rapping over break beats. So I pulled back from even wanting to do R&B because it became hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Some strings.
Yeah, sometimes it wasn't even strings. You know, so that element of the R&B that I wanted to do, it disappeared. So I wasn't really interested in doing R&B no more. That's why, like, when Her came out, she brought back traditional R&B music. So when Jeff Robertson, her manager and label owner, reached out to me to do scratches for her, and he sent me 2 joints. I actually scratched on one joint, another joint that didn't come out yet too. But when he sent me the record, I'm like, yo, she's this is R&B again. I didn't even know if people would accept that shit because we're not used to hearing traditional R&B anymore. And then when he told me how old she was at that time, I think she was like 19 or some shit. And then when I listened to the rest of the album, and then I did some shows with her, and when her shit came out, boom, Grammys. She just won a fucking Oscar last year, like, and she's doing traditional R&B. So now I want to do R&B again because there's a small little pocket of artists doing R&B again. So
the R&B you like, which is crazy to me, is not basically doing the hip hop with strings. You want to do R&B. I didn't know you had that flavor. I didn't know you had that desire and ear for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Slow songs, up tempos.
Both.
All of that.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know BBD is always running around.
BBD want to do hip hop.
Yeah.
They rapping.
Correct. That's why I said no BBD. Yo, Scratch. Let's go. Go ahead.
The last R&B project I did was Mashonda, Swiss Beats ex-wife, and her project came out like right when they broke up. So that was just like a disaster. But straight R&B, like I think that was some of my best work too, man. It just didn't get it. It was, you know, just their personal shit.
Yeah.
Fucked up the whole you know, the release of
what R&B artists besides her would you like to work with? And I know the landscape is real small right now and slim.
Yeah, right now, man. I would I want to work with a couple of the OGs too, man. But I like LMA. I would want to work with her, do a joint for her.
Yeah,
I like tight. Nicole Bus. I love her, like her vocal range is insane. I want to do a joint for her. I want to work with the OGs too. I want to do a joint for Joe. Joe is one of those unsung cats that's been consistent. He's like the underground of the R&B cats, but he's just been consistent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I did not know you had that in your arsenal, Scratch, R&B. I did not know that. I thought it was strictly the hardest hip hop you would make.
Nah, your boy play too. I get busy.
What do you play?
Keys.
You play the keys. That's a natural progression, I think, for a guy like you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, can you Alicia Keys it, concert it, or you just, studio?
I'm nowhere to. I could just play what's in my head. I'm nowhere near Alicia Keys.
Who is? Yo, Scratch. So then, boom. Let's pivot to Tip. Boom. So I know you worked with Tip on the Amplified album.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's if people don't know, that's Vibrant Thing, the best. So you on that album. How you link up with
Yeah,
Tip?
another platinum joint.
Of course, your wall must be crazy. That's why I was like, damn, I hope you come from, we recorded in your studio, because I know your walls are stupid.
Shit, I ain't got enough room.
Enough room, right? Take me through
Plaques all
meeting
over the
Tip.
floor.
I've been there. I've seen your setup.
Same thing with Tip though, like Rush Management. Like back from when I was Rush Management, and once Tribe came out, they signed the Rush Management. So that's how I met Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
And EPMD was their favorite group.
Okay.
EPMD is their favorite group. Remember, Phife said it on a song as well. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg. But yeah, we've been cool. We've been cool ever since, man. Like I've always had a great relationship with everybody in hip hop, man. Like from the old cats to the younger cats, and just always kept a great rapport with everybody. So when Q-Tip started doing his first album, he reached out to me.
Debut album.
Like, yo, yeah, like, yo, like, cause he reached out to me to be his DJ. And of course, you know, our producer, he was like, Dilla did his whole first album. Dilla did produced the whole Amplified except for the 2 joints I did.
Right. And you did Do It and NT.
And NT, yeah.
Yeah.
So we knocked that out and just went on the road.
Yeah.
Just went on the road, man.
Yeah. That was big. And then from there you pivoted and then you DJ'd for Tribe Called Quest, right?
Yeah, I DJ'd for Tribe. Yeah, I was DJing for Q-Tip, and then Ali would come in and do the Tribe. We'd do it together. You know what I mean? Because there were certain things that me and Tip do that Ali wasn't capable of doing on the turntable. So he would have Tip would have me do those things, and then Ali would do the Tribe shit.
I know Tip is a producer as well. How was it producing with him and for him? How was that?
Man, it's an honor producing for he's a super producer. So it's just like Q-Tip is the East Coast Dr. Dre. And he don't get that respect. Like, go through his discography.
Put the word in. I need Tip on the show.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Scratch.
Q-Tip is the East Coast Dr. Dre, man. He did from all the Mobb Deep early shit, from Gangsta Bitch, Apache. Like, Q-Tip got bangers. He got
bangers.
Nas, Illmatic album. Oh, like, come on, man. That dude.
Yeah.
So for somebody that at that stature at that time, like, I think that Q-Tip album came out in 2000.
Yeah.
By that time, this dude is already like on a production as a producer. You know what I'm saying? So for somebody like that to want me to work on the album, man, is just the ultimate compliment. To have somebody that, like, he don't need me at all. You know what I mean? Like, for him to want me to do beats on his album is just an ultimate compliment, man. So yeah.
Were you directing them like, yo, Tip, do that over? Was it easy breezy? One take, Charlie? Easy with Tip?
No, it was just you know, the what's the joint? The Do It joint. When I gave him that, the way the beat comes in is I created a breakdown right at the start. Boom, 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 boom. You know, just I told him just stay in the rap in between the pockets of the beat. And rap to the little blend. That's how you approach it. I always try to get a vision of how they should spit on the joint.
Hold up, Scratch. Your reception is crazy. Hold up.
Follow that. All right.
Yeah, your reception, your screen froze.
All right, we're good now, right? Yeah, you're.
Yep. I'm good. You're still a little. Yeah, maybe shake a little something. Do something. Yeah, it's kind of choppy still, Scratch. I'm almost done though, Scratch. Check, check. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost gonna wrap up too. I just want to ask him about working with 50. Okay. All right,
well, let's
Scratch.
go.
Yep. Oh, you're back.
We're good. All
yeah.
right, cool.
Yeah, Scratch. We're about to wrap it up. I just wanted to get into or should I did you want to just finish what you were telling me about Tip?
No, that was it with Tip. That was it.
Okay. Okay. Scratch, real quick. Working with 50. How was that? I heard funny story you told 50 when he was on stage, he needs to take his shirt off. But at this time, in terms of when he has this record, the ladies record, is that a true story?
Absolutely. One day,
that's why you're a musical director. That's what I mean by you're a musical. You know these little intricacies in a live show that should happen. Go.
Yeah, Chris Lighty called me one day because you know I've been the music director for Jay-Z, music director for a bunch of different artists. So Chris Lighty called me and was like, "Yo, 50 fired Who Kid."
Oh,
again.
Okay.
And it's a thing, like he fired Who Kid so many times. They joke about it, him and Who Kid. Shout out to Who Kid.
I've seen that.
So they flew me out to I think it was in Houston. It was in Houston, Texas, on the anger management tour. 50 Cent, Eminem, I forgot who else was on that tour. But so I flew out there that first day. So I told 50, I said, yo, I'm gonna go in the crowd. I'm not gonna DJ this show. I'm gonna DJ tomorrow. I said, I'm gonna sit in the crowd and I'm gonna take notes.
No.
So they said, all right, cool. So, and you know, they were doing like festivals, like it's like 50,000 people and shit. So I went, go sit out in the house in the crowd and I watched his show. So I just took my notes, you know what I'm saying? So after the show, went to his room and just ran through my notes with him. You know, just shit that I feel he should do to make his show better. I'm like, cause yo, you got the hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's
automatic. It's a difference between, you know, having hit records and having an amazing show. Because there's cats that didn't have those big hit records, but had amazing shows. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you should be able to have both. So that what you were talking about, because I noticed, I'm like, yo, you know how you take your shirt off? Because he comes out of the sky. He comes out of the sky like on a hook. They got the bulletproof vests on and all that shit. They come in, they come out. What up, blood? What up, gang? You know, crowd going crazy.
Yeah.
And then he's performing and he randomly just takes his shirt off. Of course, the chicks don't love that he take his shirt off, but he doesn't take his shirt off on those big girl records that he got. You know what I mean? He just takes his shirt off when he's doing the grimy joints.
Yeah.
So I told him, I'm like, yo, don't take your shirt off until you start doing 21 questions. He's like, why? I said, what happens when you take your shirt off? I said, chicks be screaming, right? He said, yeah. I said, so you need to do the shit right. I'm like, you gotta be like LL up there, dog. Like LL ain't taking off his shirt until he get to I Need Love. You know what I'm saying? So, and I gave him advice about the intro of his show as well. I'm like, yo, you come out, you don't give the fans enough time to take in the moment that you're here. He was like, what do you mean? So I pulled up Michael Jackson live in Budapest when Michael pops out of the stage.
Yeah.
You ever seen that video?
Of course.
So you hear music, you hear the sound, and then boom.
Of course.
He pops out the stage and he just stands there.
He's just standing
like
there
5
posing.
minutes.
Yeah.
I've
tried that, but not so good for me. Maybe 2 minutes, but go ahead.
You know what I mean? And he stands there and they're falling out.
Yeah.
And then after like 2 minutes, he turns his head this way and that about 200.
It's sick.
fall out. Like
Yeah.
people fall out. They don't even get to see the show.
Yeah.
They're being carried over the barrier out of the building.
Yeah.
So I said, you got to do that. You got to be Michael on that stage.
That's big.
I said, so when you come down out of the sky, and you walk out to that catwalk, I said, don't start no music, because he comes down to the music. He comes down to burning it, burn. What up, cut? He comes down to that shit. I'm like, come down out of the sky, walk out to the end of that catwalk, and just stand there. Just stand there. I said, for real, I said, trust me. You gotta, you don't understand how big of a star you are. You know what I'm saying? He didn't understand. You gotta, you're like, you can be like on some Michael Jackson shit, but in hip hop. I said, trust me. I said, I'm gonna DJ the show. Walk out to the, because they had a long catwalk that go all the way out into the middle of the crowd. I said, walk out to the catwalk and just stand at that fucking mic.
Okay.
And they're gonna scream their ass off. I said, trust me, they're gonna scream.
This shit better work, Scratch.
Nah, he trusted me. He trusted me.
Yeah.
I said, they're gonna scream. Don't say shit. And as soon as you start hearing the scream slow down, then say, what up? Whatever city we're in.
Yeah.
Dallas, what up?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna make noise.
Even more noise, yeah.
They're gonna make more noise. And they go, are y'all ready? And I want you to put your hand in the air. And when you put your hand, point to the sky. And when you put your hand down, as soon as you get to your waist, I'm gonna drop the fucking beat. G-Unit, boom, here, boom. I'm like, you gotta play to the crowd. Let the crowd say, boom, boom, boom. Don't tell Tony Yayo and them, don't talk on that mic on the parts where the crowd is supposed to sing. Because if the crowd hear that the crowd is singing, they're gonna sing more. G-Unit, boom, we in here, boom.
Call and response.
Boom, boom, go.
They love that. The
crowd's supposed to sing that.
They love that, yeah. Call and response.
What up, cuz? What up, blood? What up, God? What up, gangsta?
With you dropping out the record too, you killing them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I gave him all those, all of those tips.
Gems.
And it went flawless. Like, and the funny shit is, when he walked out to the catwalk, he looked back at me and shit. He didn't look back yet. He just stood there. And when the crowd started screaming, he looked back at me like, oh shit. Like,
this guy, you were right.
Like, oh shit, this shit is really working. He right.
Yeah.
So he stood there, they were screaming. And then he turned his head and they were screaming. And as soon as he started hearing it die down, Dallas, what up? Ah!
Insane.
And everything worked as planned. And he paid me like I did a track for him. Like, 50's a very generous dude.
Yes.
And
you established this show. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I DJ'd for 2 shows, and I talked him into hiring Who Kid back. So I told, Who Kid, watch what I do. And just, that's the show. Follow that shit.
You didn't want that set? You had other stuff going on?
I just ain't want to take nobody's job. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, if he fired him and he's gone, then I'll do, I'll do it. But he was still there, and I ain't want to take his job and shit.
Yeah.
Now, Scratch, but
I know you also, if I'm correct, you produced a song for 50, no?
2. I did 2 joints for 50.
Okay, and one was on the album that never came out?
Yeah, the Power of the Dollar. I did. I'm a Hustler.
Power of the Dollar. You did. I'm a Hustler. What happened with that? Is that when he got shot?
That's when he got shot. Yeah, because he got dropped right after he got shot. The label they didn't want no parts of that street shit.
So you're rocking with 50. Yeah, you're rocking with 50 real early, and then you rock with him later on in his career as well.
Yeah.
How'd you link up with him so early?
Chris Lighty.
And
I know Jam Master Jay put on 50. So as him being a disciple for Jam Master Jay, automatically when they asked me to do it, I'm like, because at that time when 50 got shot, nobody wanted to fuck with him because ain't nobody want no parts of that
drama.
Anybody want to be a part of that drama? You know what I mean? But I'm like, he's one of Jay's disciples, so I gotta fuck with him. You know what I mean? I gotta do it. So I gave him that joint, and when I gave him the beat for I'm a Hustler for the first album, I was on tour with Jay-Z. So when it was time to mix the record, I had to fly home from tour with Jay on one of my days off and come mix the record and do the scratches on the hook. So I scratched a Jadakiss line on the hook, mixed it, and then flew back out on tour. But he got dropped right after that because the labels ain't want.
How was it working with him so early? Did you see it? Did you see him, to being where he was on Get Rich or Die Trying? Did you see that in him? Did you? No.
Nah, it wasn't what I seen. It was just me looking like Chris Lighty's my dog. Rest in peace, Chris Lighty. And of course, Jam Master Jay. So anything connected to those two, I'm not going to question it. Yo, you need a beat? All right, it's automatic. I didn't even look at it on some seeing what his projection was going to be as far as his career. But because even after that, he got dropped. He got dropped from the label after he got shot. And then really nobody wanted to sign him. That's why 50 got a deal outside of New York. New York was not fucking with him because of the street shit he was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So nobody wanted to fuck with 50. And I was the only, and when I say nobody, I mean, fuck the labels. I'm talking about producers, DJs. Nobody wanted no parts of that shit. So when I gave him the beat for 50 Shot Ya, nobody wanted to give him any beats either. So Chris Lighty was like, yo, I need a beat for 50. I need a beat for 50. He didn't have a deal at that time. He didn't have a deal.
And that's on the Power of a Dollar album.
Power of a Dollar is I'm a Hustler. Yeah.
Yeah. How long after that does Get Rich or Die Trying come out?
A few years later.
A few years later, right? And
that, I think
you were just
Power of a Dollar was like 2000.
Yeah, 1999 going into 2000.
Going to 2000. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it was just that 2 year drought.
Yeah. Nobody, and then Dre had him, and then Dre got him. Nobody was getting on.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So even before Dre, like he was just hands off. Like he was like, labels was like, nah, we don't want none of that street shit over in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he was the only rapper that got shot up like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was new to the game.
Niggas is getting shot and poked and all that, but nobody got shot like that.
Times.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So labels was like, nah. I don't want no parts of that. So at that time, Chris Lighty was the only person that wasn't afraid to work with 50. You know what I'm saying? And Chris is my man. So Chris is like, yo, I need a beat for 50. He didn't have a deal at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I did it for Chris, did it for 50 and gave him the beat. He recorded that joint, and that record, 50 Shot Ya, was the first song that radio DJs played since he got shot and got dropped. Nobody wanted to play nothing from him because he was making joints like mixtape shit like that, mixtape joints and shit like that. But when I did that joint for him, that's the first record that got him hot in the streets to leading for him to get a deal. 50 Shot Ya got him his deal with Eminem. That's
huge. Nobody knows that. And that's crazy. That's crazy. Let's move on to, before I let LL, you worked with LL on the GOAT album.
Yesterday was the 21st anniversary of the GOAT.
And you did what? 5 songs on that, if I'm not mistaken. You was on that album. You're not just on it, but you're on that album.
Yeah, I was executive producer on that.
And you executive produce on LLC. People just think Scratch is out here DJing and running and LL. How's it working with LL?
Man, come on, man. He's a GOAT, man. Like,
the
GOAT. He knocked that record out real fast too. The Ill Bomb joint. The Ill Bomb record. It was for Flex album too, but for Flex and Big Cap. That's what that record was for first. So when I did this, when I gave Flex the beat, I said, "Yo, this beat can only go to 2 people," because I was always picky with my shit. So it was only 1 beat. Remember, I said I only come with 1 beat.
Yeah.
So I came with that 1 beat. I said, only 2 people can get this beat for your album, LL or Jay-Z at that time. And then I was like, you know what? Give it to LL because Jay's already hot out here right now. And at that time, L had just dropped the album that didn't do good. So he wasn't hot at that moment, at that particular moment. So I'm like, LL needs this record more than Jay-Z needs it. Jay's already scorching. Rockefeller is the new hot fucking click at that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, L needs this record. Give it to LL.
Yeah.
And they gave it to L. And then I got a call from one of the Def Jam A&Rs. It was like, yo, L, why don't you come to the studio to lay the beat? So when I came to lay the beat, he was there. So he was like, yo, you got more beats? I'm like, of course.
Of course.
So I played him 5 more joints, and he took all 5 of them. and this is on his album.
Whoa. If anybody don't know, my man Scratch is on LL's album. Y'all gotta go check it out. Like I said, Scratch, you like on 5 joints, right? I think I got them joints here too somewhere. But yo, go check it out. And of course, you worked with Meth and Red because that's like family as well. You know.
Indeed.
Yeah, you did 1 2 1 2 on that Blackout album. That's like family working with them, right? Yeah,
that's fam. And the crazy shit with LL, when that album came out, it went to number 1. So we like, congratulations, we got number 1 album.
Yeah.
But I never knew LL never went number 1.
No.
That was his first album to go number 1. It was the GOAT album. Out of all of those mega hits he's had, that's the first album to go number 1.
Wow. You breaking news right here. I never knew that. I just thought LL was always going number 1 when he came out.
Yeah, nope. That's his first album to go number 1.
And then to circle back, then recently you worked with Busta on his most recent album.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Busta's
I'm on every Busta's album.
Yeah, that's like home team for you, like I said. And you did Boom.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, there's a video for that too.
Yep.
So what do you do with Bus? Like, you just does he call you or you call him? Hey, Bus, I just made some shit, and you fly it to him, or he's calling, checking you. He's calling you.
He'll call me. Yo, I need a beat. Yeah. And honestly, man, me and Bus have done so many songs. Like, we got at least 3 albums of songs unreleased.
Word.
That just I produced. Yeah, we got like about 40, 50 songs that I produced unreleased. So when he do call me for beats, I'm like, yo, we got so many joints,
records, bro. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like, stop calling me for beats. You got a gang of shit done already.
Whoa. But nothing like fresh new music, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it, but it's only old to us.
Yeah, of course. That's what I say, and it's new to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If it's not dated, then shit, put that shit out. And he actually listened to me with Boom, because we did Boom 2 years before it came out, the video and everything.
That video's 2 years old?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's crazy. Scratch, we've been on here chopping it up. Let me just hit you with some quick fires, and I'm gonna let you go because you gave me more than enough time, brother. I really appreciate you, Scratch. Scratch, real quick. Man. What do you prefer more, DJing or producing?
DJing.
DJing?
DJing, because DJing gives me the ideas to produce. Like I like DJing because I like DJing more than producing because, of course, producing, you're getting publishing checks and royalty checks and all of that shit. But you see the direct gratification that the crowd gives you when you're DJing in front of them. You don't see that when you're producing. Like, you know, you might see somebody, now you in a car and somebody pulls up next to you and they playing a record that you produced. They don't know you ain't even, they don't even know you in the car.
That
but
sucks.
You just see them.
Yeah.
You know, but
yeah.
You rarely see it though, but you see it. Like, how many times you've been in a car and somebody pull up bumping your shit.
Right.
And they're in the car, they singing it and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You rarely see that.
Yeah.
But you love to see how your music affects people. Like firsthand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with DJing, I see automatically firsthand how what I'm doing on the turntables affects people's emotions.
Yeah.
And make them happy. You know what I mean?
It's like actors. Some actors say they prefer doing stage plays because they get
Broadway.
the immediate Broadway as opposed to doing movies and shit like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you get the instant. You see how you see feedback. Automatically how your art is making people happy. So I say DJ.
That makes sense. Yeah. What other DJs are you like? That boy got skills.
One of my DJs, Japanese kid named Coco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's one of my DJs on Scratch Vision. He's actually the ambassador of Scratch Vision Tokyo, and I put my money on him against anybody. And he
Talk
only
to me about. Go ahead.
And he only fucks with 45s. He don't even play Serato.
Talk to me about Scratch Vision for the world who don't know. Scratch. Talk to us about Scratch Vision.
Scratch Vision is basically it's an online streaming social media network. So everything that's going on now with the video streaming and all of that, I started doing that in 2009. I launched the site in 2009, and I wanted to create, because I couldn't get on the radio at that time. You know, I've been trying to get on the radio, but you know, politics and shit. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna start my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Not that you can't beat them, join them. I can't join them. I'm gonna create my own shit. So I built the website, and I was always into tech. So I built the website, put a chat room in there, and I already had a fan base because Scratch Vision was my second website. So all of my members of my first website, I migrated them over and created a site like Facebook where you have Facebook friends. So it's the same way, dope. but so imagine Facebook with a TV screen and a chat room in the middle. This is before Facebook Live and all of that shit, but that's what Scratch Vision was in 2009. So now, you know, we have grown. We got Scratch Vision Tokyo. We have we now have a 24-hour radio station. So I got live DJs on there weekly. I got the Awesome 2 on there every Friday, 8 o'clock. The legendary Awesome 2 on there. So, you know, so we're just giving people radio, and we're giving them video, giving them TV, and just bringing back what was taken away from TV, music. You know, all the music television stations, VH1, MTV, they don't play music no more. It's all reality shows.
You already know.
So I wanted to bring that shit back, but put it on the internet where people all around the world can enjoy it, not just people in your city or your tri-state area.
When are we going to see that on Revolt, bro?
I don't want it on Revolt.
You don't want it on Revolt. Okay.
Revolt. See, and this is the thing, man. And I had this conversation with Puff too, man, when right before he launched Revolt. You know, I was happy for him, congratulating him. And what I told Puff was, you need to dedicate one show to the era that you helped dominate, which is the 90s.
I'm with you.
Do one TV show, because
I'm with you.
What he didn't understand at that time, maybe he understands it now, maybe he doesn't, but I was already at least 5 years in doing what I'm doing, you know, with Scratch Vision. I already got an app, you know what I'm saying? So what Revolt is TV. If you're aiming your content at an audience that's 15 to 25 years old, people 15 to 25 don't watch TV.
At all.
They're on their phones.
For sure.
You're not going to sit in the house and watch TV, ever.
For sure, ever.
You know what I mean? So you got to target you have to target an audience that actually sits and watches TV, which is us. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Which is people from 35
and up.
35 to right, 35 and up.
Mm-hmm.
And my Scratch Vision would be perfect for Revolt, because my audience, I have a broad audience. My audience is from 15 and up. You know what I mean? But it would be perfect for Revolt because the people that watch TV will watch Scratch Vision because of that genre. But with TV, man, like TV puts you in a box because you can't once you put your shit on TV, you can't play everything you want to play. Certain shit ain't gonna get cleared.
Restrictions.
Can't curse. Yeah, so many restrictions. The internet is global. People in China, people in Japan, Australia can't watch Revolt, but they can watch Scratch Vision.
The internet. Yeah.
When I'm on the radio,
like
when I do Scratch Vision, right? When I DJ on Scratch Vision, I'm DJing on Scratch Vision and Scratch Vision Radio. So anywhere in the world, you can't do that on TV. And Revolt ain't even in shit, and even in 30 markets in the country.
Correct.
Well, what Puff needs to do, what Puff needs to do with Revolt is to he needs to get on the internet. He needs to expand on the internet because that's the future. The internet is not even the future. The internet been the future 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So so anything that you're doing as far as entertainment, anything you're doing as far as entertainment, if it doesn't have internet involved, it doesn't have an app involved, you're gonna lose automatically. You're losing.
Yeah. Scratch, I could keep you here for another hour. My producers would kill me if I did that, but I really appreciate it. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. I mean, there's none other like you. I call you the silent assassin, the turntable assassin. People already know they call you that. DJ Scratch, I appreciate it, man. I guess if I have any more questions, there's going to be a part 2 to this crazy ass interview. Everybody give it up for my man.
Hey, listen. Yeah, man, just congratulations on the show, man. If you need anything, holla at your boy. You already know what it is, man.
I appreciate you, Scratch. Like I said, I know you're a busy man with your DJing, you're producing, and you moving around the country and the world. So again, Scratch, for taking the time out to be on the Producers Podcast, I owe you a big one, brother, and I'll see you real soon, all right?
Indeed.
Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Producers Podcast, produced by my guys Raj and Vic at the Creative Content Agency. I couldn't do it without them. Big shout out to them. If you like what you heard today, please share with everybody that likes to hear about these kind of stories behind the beats with these amazing producers. Also, if you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rate and review. Also for the crew over at Spotify, please do what you do over there. Listen, follow me at my social site, at Krazy Drayz. That's KrazyDrayz. Leave me some messages, leave me some questions, leave me some ideas. I'm going to holler back at you because that's just what we do at the Producers Podcast. Hey, once again, thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Peace.